Hello everyone, my name is Abby Bliss White and welcome to my channel. Today I am so excited to share a new launch from an amazing perfume brand. This is Zing from Andrea Maack. If you are not familiar with Andrea Maack fragrances, she is an Icelandic visual artist and her medium now is perfume. And there is something special about all of her fragrances. I don't know if it is the Icelandic influence, but there's just something that I love about so many from her line. And this new launch called Zing is right up my alley. If you are somebody like myself who loves a fresh, cold pressed juice, and that sounds very appealing to you in a fragrance, then you are going to want to learn a little bit more about Zing, as well as my thoughts on this fragrance. Then let's go ahead and get started. Okay, let's go ahead and dive in. As I was saying, I think that Andrea Maack fragrances are really unique and special. I got to attend a whole webinar with her, kind of storytelling about all of her fragrances, and I just sort of fell in love with the brand. Her fragrance coven totally went like TikTok viral, so you may have heard about that fragrance, but today I'm going to be sharing this new one called Zing, and this is an Extrait De Parfum. The cost of this Extrait De Parfum is $230 for 50 mils. You can find this at Twisted Lily. First of all, I wanted to show you, I absolutely love the unique bottles. They're almost like little coffins to me. Beautiful glass bottle here with a very unique shape here. So this is what I'm wearing right now, but let me go ahead, spray a little bit on a tester. This is going to immediately put a smile on your face. As the name suggests, it's going to give you a little zing, wake you up. This is definitely an invigorating scent, and for myself, this was a love at first sniff. This is going to be for any of you who like sort of invigorating, citrusy, fresh scents, something that is going to put a smile on your face and kind of wake you up. I think you are going to love this one. I love the description of this fragrance. If you are a fellow cold pressed juice lover like myself, it says, have you ever wanted to try a cold pressed juice on your skin? And it has the most addictive quality to it. So let me read you the notes first. In the top, it's going to open with tangerine, mandarin, and a mineral note. And that mineral note that is shining through in this fragrance, I'm imagining it's like we have gone to Iceland and we are going into all those really cool thermal baths, those hot springs that they have there. That is on my bucket list to go and do. But it's just like a slight, I wouldn't even say too salty of a bite, I would say, but there's definitely like some mineral air coming off of those hot springs in that opening. This smells so good. In the heart, it's got mate, carrot, and ginger, and this sort of tea, ginger, and carrot combo literally sings in this fragrance. The ginger adds a little fizziness to the fragrance. The carrot adds almost like this awesome sweetness. It's not vegetal, it's definitely like a little sweetness, I think, from that carrot. It's almost like it's adding a little bit of texture to the fragrance. This one is definitely a fresh fragrance. Zingy, it's kind of fizzy, effervescent. It literally is going to lift your mood. And then in the base, it's got patchouli, creamy sandalwood, and musk. And in this fragrance, I always feel like patchouli can either be sort of earthy or it's going to add a freshness. I feel like in this fragrance, it's going to add that sort of addictive freshness that patchouli can have in fragrances. I also love the creaminess of the sandalwood, and then that musk is kind of adding another layer of like this clean note in here. So this fragrance is what I would call like a joy maker. It literally is joyful to wear. When you take in the aroma, when you spray this out, you're literally going to have kind of an experience wearing this, because it's going to wake you up, give you a little zing, but it's zingy in the best way possible. It's not too citrusy. There isn't anything like sharp in here, if that makes sense. I'm getting this little kind of zippity doodah feeling when I first spray this out. It literally makes me smile and it makes me feel alive. So again, I'm kind of going back to the image of being in Iceland in one of those hot springs where I feel like I am like having an awakening there, doing something good for myself. And I love the image of also like drinking fresh cold pressed juice, because I love it. It literally wakes me up and it makes me feel clean from the inside out. It always makes me feel like my skin is glowing and I just feel like I'm doing something good for myself. And this is what this Zing does for me. It feels like it's mimicking that. I literally just finished doing a cleanse, and so I'm feeling very light and bright, and this is the fragrance that mimics that feeling, if that makes sense. Is just, you know, waking up and having my morning elixirs, incorporating ginger into my diet. And the ginger in here is definitely adding a little bit of a spicy feel to it, but I would say it is more effervescent, a bit fizzy, a bit fun. That's what I would say. Is this is definitely one of these fragrances that's going to be an easy go-to fragrance to spray on every day. Imagine getting out of your shower, putting Zing on. You're going to wake up, you're going to smell amazing because of that mandarin and orange. And again, it's not sharp. I would say that's what I love about the scent, is that it's very invigorating, but everything is smooth. It kind of just really kind of takes you on a ride, but in the best way possible. Nothing is sharp or angular. I feel like this fragrance is sort of anchored down by that mate. Like think of a little bit of a comforting cup of tea. That patchouli again is going to give you that fresh addictive nature. That is what I will tell you. This fragrance is addictive. It basically is something that you're going to want to reach for. I have been on a roll since I received this. I have just been wearing it nonstop, and I actually do think this is a great fragrance for fall. For those of you who live in areas where it can be cooler, I live in the Pacific Northwest where it can be a little bit gloomy, and that is where I want, you know, to do the opposite. I want to wear a fragrance that is going to kind of lift me out of the kind of gloomy, rainy, foresty kind of feel, and give me something that is a little bit more like help me get out of bed, invigorate me, and make me feel happy. That is what this is in a bottle. As far as the longevity, because this is an extrait fragrance, sometimes with freshies they may not always be the longest lasting. Zing is a long lasting fragrance. I sprayed this on first thing in the morning, had that experience out of the shower, and I did spray it on my clothes as well. As usual, as the day progresses down, it is going to become a little closer to the skin, but I think the cool thing about this fragrance was that I would get little wafts throughout the day of this. And so it was almost like the zingness of this would kind of give me a little wake up call throughout the day. So definitely an all day wear fragrance. So this definitely has some legs to it, meaning it's going to last all day, especially if you spray this on your clothes and such. I had picked up a sweater that I had kind of sprayed on it and I was like, gosh, something smells so good. And I was like, it's the Zing. It really had such a good smell. So good. I'm wearing that again today. So the way that I like to apply perfume is I like to do a spritz on my pulse points. I like to apply it around my décolleté neck area, and then when I have put my clothes on, I like to take the bottle and spray a couple in front of me and then walk through it so that I get a whole scent trail going on, like a cloud of the Zing all over me. And I swear it smells so good. Like, this sweater smells amazing. As far as the dry down, you definitely, I still am getting that divine orange smell, which I love, like that mandarin in here. It's almost like I want to eat that juicy mandarin orange, which are in season right now, and they're giving us a little burst of vitamin C. It also has this sort of delicious, like, powdery ginger dry down to it. As far as similar perfumes, I would not say that it's exactly the same, but the dry down, I can give you sort of the genre. If you have smelled Ingenious Ginger by Goldfield and Banks, that one had sort of that lovely powdery ginger dry down. There's a touch of that in this fragrance, but this does not like have that vanilla note that Ingenious Ginger does. This also doesn't have that sort of floralness that I get from Ingenious Ginger. This is literally such a fun fragrance to wear. I would highly recommend it to any of you who love fresh, citrusy fragrances, but nothing that's going to smell too much like, you know, cleaning product or anything like that. This definitely has some oomph to it, meaning it's got some creaminess from that sandalwood. It's got that addictive patchouli in here. The carrot and ginger combo along with the mate kind of give it some heft and balance. And then of course it's going to open with that zesty, citrusy, like where it makes you want to eat oranges. And I do have to admit, when I was at the store, I was like, I want to pick up some mandarin oranges as well. It's going to kind of make you feel fresh and clean from the inside out, and it also has that just enough of that mineral note that is going to tamp down the citrus and kind of give it a little teeny, like a whisper of saltiness to it. If you're looking for a fragrance to kind of lift you out of the doldrums, Zing is going to be it. This is your feel-good fragrance. I cannot recommend this enough. And this is another one of these fragrances that you will get compliments on. As I've mentioned a couple different times, I feel like there's certain genres that, you know, elicit more compliments than others, and it tends to be freshy fragrances and then sweet fragrances. I find that those are the two kind of genres that I get the most compliments on, and this one is definitely one of those because it is going to give you, I don't know if it's you exuding kind of some energy that is shining out into the world, but I have already gotten a couple compliments on this fragrance. You know, it's one of these hug-worthy ones where someone's going to say, wow, you just smell amazing. And I think that's because this is a fresh fragrance with that touch of patchouli. And that's a note in fragrances that I'm always going to get a compliment on. Patchouli is known for that. But Zing, highly recommend it. You can find this at Twisted Lily. I do have my discount code. It is Abby10 for 10% off. But this is a no-brainer. Highly recommend it. I think a lot of people are going to love this one. And it's an easy, everyday go-to fragrance. You can dress it up You can dress this down. Like, this is one of these fragrances that you literally can rock when you're dressed to the nines. You can do it in your casual, cozy sweaters. It can be dressed up or down. It's just a really great all-around fragrance, and I'm just gonna tell you, it's gonna make you feel amazing. So let me know if you get your nose on this fragrance, what you think about it. I'm in love with it and I can't seem to get enough of it right now. So thank you so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed this perfume review, and I will be back with another video soon.